The LBMA, or London Bullion Market Association, held their annual conference this past week in Lisbon, Portugal. Over 700 attendees were present, many of whom, according to the LBMA's Ruth Crowell years back, have traded precious metals derivatives their whole careers, yet many have never actually ever seen or touched a large good delivery gold bar throughout their professional work lives. One of this week's LBMA conference attendees, Nikki Shields from Pamp Suisse, took to Twitter to give some insights on what she saw and heard in Lisbon. She wrote, "Just attended the annual LBMA London conference in Lisbon. Polling takeaways from delegates, they are mildly bearish gold for the year ahead, 1830 an ounce by 2023's conference, but super bullish silver, 2830 an ounce, as the focus was on physical tightness driven by unprecedented demand." She continued by saying, "Conversations such as silver is being airlifted into regional hubs to feed demand versus being shipped, as consumers are willing to pay 5x average transportation costs for expedited physical. That is unheard of." An onlooker responded, "This is nuts. This is usually only for gold on commercial flights that have room." Nikki responded, "Exactly. Silver is usually treated like base metals and shipped, but demand is incredibly strong, sub 20 an ounce in the East." To corroborate her claims, this past week we got an update on Indian silver bullion import figures through September 2022. India reportedly imported the second highest amount of silver bullion on record in a month, consuming over 56 million ounces in September 2022, around 98% of which were likely large 1,000-ounce silver bullion bars, with over half of the imported silver to India coming out of the United Kingdom, and more than likely, much of it coming out of the City of London Silver Warehouse Network. Who wants to make a bet that the LBMA Silver Warehouse inventory levels drop again to a new all-time record low the next time they update their data? Some of the London silver bullion Eastern outflows are coming out of silver ETF sell-offs, as silver spot price in fiat US dollars has been weak throughout 2022. The vast majority of the supposed London silver bullion bar pile is unsecured silver that is supposedly backing the world's largest risk-laden ETF called SLV. Turning to the COMEX here in the United States, the COMEX silver registered pile continues to shrink, now near 38 million ounces. As well, the COMEX silver eligible pile has also been shrinking steadily of late, and we can presume some of which has shipped east to help meet ongoing record-sized Indian silver bullion demand as well. Note too that over 100 million ounces in this current COMEX silver eligible pile are also spoken for, as they're supposedly unsecured silver SLV holdings, whose custodianship is managed by and supposedly stored within the JP Morgan vault in New York. JP Morgan is still the dominant warehouse pile in the silver COMEX network, and it has the majority of its holdings tied up with SLV, the unsecured ETF many of you would never own, but perhaps for a short, medium-term trade or an options bet. And so on it goes. More and more 1,000-ounce silver bullion bars are being airlifted to India and or refined into smaller-sized coins, bars, and rounds, headed into mini Western world long-term silver bullion buyer stashes outside the financial system. And while for decades running, silver may have been treated like a near base metal, the fact of our modern world is that it remains essential for industrial applications, and it's still being treated increasingly by many around the world as a long-term store of value, especially at these spot price points. Those three red arrows on the right-hand side there, they reflect the respective annual fresh mine supplies of gold, silver, and the platinum metals. My contention remains that they will increasingly be viewed as precious in the coming years and throughout this decade unfolding. Hello there, on behalf of SDBullion.com, this is James Anderson with a quick SD Bullion market update. Before we go further, please smash the like button so other sound money stackers can also see this content. And be sure to subscribe to our SD Bullion channel so you can get our latest market coverages and also a chance at winning incredible bullion giveaways like this one.
Get ready for SD Bullion's Monster Box sweepstakes that includes 500 Silver Eagles. You could be the next lucky recipient of a phone call like this.
This is Dr. Tyler Wall, CEO of SD Bullion. Well, I'm calling you to let you know that you won the SD Bullion giveaway of a Monster Box of Silver Eagles.
So click the link below for your chance to win.
Click the link below to enter our new 500-ounce American Silver Eagle coin Type 2 giveaway contest. And good luck to all of you who take part. Both gold and silver fiat US dollar denominated spot prices rose in the week's trading. The spot silver price cleared and is settling near $19.50 an ounce ask. The spot gold price inched slightly higher to close near $16.60 an ounce ask price. The gold-silver ratio tumbled from 90 to close to 85 on the week. And given the fiat US dollar spot price weakness for gold bullion this year, and increasingly large devaluation troubles with the fiat Japanese yen and fiat British pound, this gold as the numeraire or measure of value illustration over the last 100 plus years reflects the continued losses of these three major fiat currencies in relation to gold bullion to date. The fiat US dollar is down nearly negative 99.7 versus gold since 1916. The fiat British pound has lost negative 99.92 versus gold over that same time frame. And finally, the fiat Japanese yen has lost 99.995% in gold bullion buying power. Who wants to be on the wrong side of this continuing trend? The fiat Japanese yen had another massive relative loss versus the relatively stronger fiat US dollar again this week, blowing beyond 150 intra-week. And we have to go back to around 1990 to find such a weak yen versus US dollar exchange rate. And judging by the fact that the Bank of Japan is now having to borrow fresh fiat US dollars from the New York Fed, it's all but obvious to anyone on looking with a functioning synapse that not all is well in the land of the rising sun currently. The ECB and the Swiss National Bank continued this week, taking fresh fiat US dollar loans from the New York Fed, while the battered Swiss commercial bank Credit Suisse's economist took to financial propaganda, being quoted this week stating, "We do not believe that the increased demand for US dollar liquidity by domestic banks reflects any liquidity issue in the Swiss banking system." Okay, moving on. Recent data reflects that US consumers' personal savings have plunged by tenfold since the pandemic check handouts. I want to close this week by mentioning a trade which you might consider if you are fortunate enough to have dry powder, personal savings in cash, and perhaps bought high-demand silver bullion products back when their price over spot premiums were relatively more reasonable. In early 2019 on this very SD Bullion channel, I showed viewers at the time that for many years running, 1-ounce American Silver Eagle coins were the #1 most purchased bullion product in our industry and at sdbullion.com. In just over the last 3.5 years of time, the U.S. Mint has proven to be dysfunctional and inadequate in keeping up with global silver bullion coin demand. American Silver Eagle coins have, during durations of silver bullion market scarcity, yielded large price premiums over the then fluctuating silver spot price. For instance, during the fall of 2008 into the early winter of 2009, a time when the silver spot price was hovering around $9, many American Silver Eagle coins were selling around $16 a piece simultaneously. The price premiums on American Silver Eagles have hit a new all-time record price over spot percentage terms this past week. Here is the arbitrage that myself and many other silver bullion buyers are taking advantage of at the moment. By currently selling, for instance, a 500-ounce U.S. Mint case of 1-ounce American Silver Eagle coins for plus $10.50 per ounce over spot at sdbullion.com/sell, you can immediately offset that sale trade by then buying lower premium silver bullion bars. For instance, these 10-ounce silver bullion bars that are priced at $3.49 over spot. By doing them at the same time, you would reduce price fluctuation risk, and at those price premiums, tax ramifications aside, you could come very close to converting 500 ounces into nearly 650 ounces in .999 fine silver bullion bar weight with the proceeds. So, if you bought 1-ounce American Silver coins back when their price premiums over spot were relatively razor thin compared to their record size in percentage terms that they're at today, this is an opportunity to gain overall ounces in your silver bullion stack. That's all for this week. As always, to you out there, take great care of yourselves and those you love.
If you enjoyed this content, be sure to give our video a thumbs up. To keep getting bullion-related news and industry insights, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Finally, hit that alert button so you know when we publish fresh content.